You neither need nor deserve to be in the know regarding this, but I thought that I would tell you anyway. Starting the day after tomorrow, my daughter Mandy is moving in with us. I see. Doesn't she live with her husband, though? Why is she moving here? Yet again, this is something that I don't have to tell you, but she's giving birth soon. Her husband is too busy with work to take care of her, so she'll be living here so I can help her out. Oh, okay. And is her husband coming here too, or...? He'll just be dropping her off and going right back home. What did you think he was going to do, spend the next 6 months here with her? He has a job to do. You know what a job is, don't you? Whoa, 6 months? Wait a second, that seems like an awfully long time for her to be living here with us. Oh, good grief. Didn't Dan tell you anything? Mandy is going to have a home birth, here, in this house. She is? As in our bathroom or something? That's... wow. Yeah, Dan never told me anything about that. I suppose I could understand why it would be difficult to breach the conversation with you. After all, you're as barren as the Sahara Desert in the summertime. Well, really, I had no idea that Mandy was even pregnant in the first place, but that's not what's important right now. This isn't something that Dan, you, and Mandy can just decide on your own. I'm the one who's paying for all of our living expenses. And not to mention, this house just isn't big enough for all of us. You have your bedroom, Dan and I have our bedroom, and the only other open room is the area I use for work, so where is she going to stay? You'll just have to make it work. Dan is out of town on business most of the time, so he doesn't need much space. And since Mandy is the pregnant woman here, her needs have the utmost priority. So you'll just have to move all of your things into that closet you call an office and let Mandy stay in your bedroom. And once again, that is not something that you can decide without my input. Not to mention, after she gives birth in the house, which I'm still not saying I'm cool with, by the way, what happens next? Like, what's the plan from there? Is she planning on keeping her baby up in our bedroom for the entire time she's living with us? That's the only way it would work, because I still need to have space to work in. Excuse me? You don't have any right to tell Mandy how she takes care of her own child. It's her child. She decides. If you were capable of having your own children, then maybe I'd take your position into consideration. Oh no, now you've reminded me that I'll never be able to see my darling Dan's children. You know what? I think I know why you can't have children. Judging by the way you're so insensitive to Mandy and her child, it's probably God punishing you for being such a wretched woman. I have no idea why Dan even puts up with you. I wish he'd just get it over with and get rid of you once and for all. Claire, you have no business inserting yourself into my marriage with your son. What would Dan think if he heard you talking about me like that? It wouldn't come to a surprise to him at all. I tell him as much all the time. Oh, really now? And what does he say during these conversations? He said that he feels the exact same way I do. You didn't expect my son to go against me, did you? No, Claire. When I think about it, I shouldn't be surprised at all that he went right along with you. Okay? I think I need to have a little chat with Dan then. In the meantime, let me just say that it is absolutely not going to work out for Mandy to live with us for 6 whole months. You don't have a say in the matter. How many times do I have to tell you this? Mandy is moving in, and that is final. I'm going to talk to Dan now. Well, Dan, I just had a very interesting conversation with your mother. She tells me that Mandy is going to move in with us for the next 6 months, starting the day after tomorrow. And also that she's going to do a home birth in our house? I have to say, it's appalling that you never once thought to mention any of this to me up until now. This isn't your mom's house, and it isn't Mandy's house. It isn't even your house. It's my house.
Oh, great. Here we go again. Why do you think I didn't tell you about this, Elise? It's because I knew that the moment I told you, you'd do this. I know you're jealous because she's having a kid while you can't.
Dan, that is not what this conversation is about. Don't change the subject.
I'm not changing the subject, you are! The only problem here is your jealousy toward my pregnant sister. Don't blame her for your inability to have kids. That's all on you!
For God's sake, Dan, will you please just talk to me like an adult?
No! You talk to me like an adult! This is a done deal, Elise! Mandy is moving in with us, period! The end! So would you just get over yourself and stop complaining all the time? You know it affects my mom when you're in a bad mood! And it's also the reason that I only come home when I absolutely have to!
That's another thing we need to talk about, actually. Why are you lying and saying you're out of town on business when you're actually just camping out in hotels? What am I to you anyway? Even on the rare occasion when you do come home, we'd never even talk.
Oh, there's a very good reason for that. There's absolutely nothing I want to talk to you about, so why should I waste my time?
This is insane, Dan. Why do I have to feel like I'm completely alone in my own house? Let me remind you that I never consented to letting your mom live with us either. One day I came back home and all of a sudden your mom's stuff was all moved in. And now you're doing the same thing with Mandy. Don't you think you're being way out of line, Dan?
I didn't ask you about my mom moving in because there was no reason for you to say no. We had an empty room that we weren't using, so what's wrong with letting my mom live there?
Even if that were a valid reason, which it's not, that doesn't apply to the current situation. We have no empty rooms for Mandy to stay in. And not to mention, we were planning on using the room you gave to your mom for a nursery.
Yeah, and whose fault is it that we'll never need a nursery, Elise, huh? Look, everything my mom said is 100% correct. You just don't like it that she's honest.
How am I supposed to get pregnant when things are like this between us? Seriously, Dan, it's like you think I'm not even human, like I'm just garbage. Well, let me tell you something. I'm not going to just sit back and allow you to be so cold to me. So, Elise, are you all packed up and ready to move out? What are you talking about? Dear heavens, girl, are you really so clueless? I'm saying that your presence is no longer needed in this house. My daughter, a real woman, is moving in so that she can have her baby in the comfort of her own home. This isn't her own home, it's my own home. Shut up! She's moving in, you're moving out, and that's all there is to it. Are you being serious right now, Claire? I've never been more serious about anything else in my life. What good is it to keep you around if you're not going to have any grandchildren for me? You don't deserve a house like this. I've been wanting you out of my hair for years now. So I guess that explains why you've been more terrible to me than usual lately. You've acted like you couldn't hear me when I tried to talk to you. You refused to do any of the housework. Honestly, it's like you go out of your way to make the house more of a mess. It's your fault for not noticing sooner that you weren't wanted. And then there's Dan. No matter what terrible thing you do or say to me, he always backs you up. And he's always out somewhere doing something or another, so he's never at home anyway. That's right, which is why it's up to me to protect this house. If the man of the house isn't around, then that means I'm the one who decides who lives where. You're protecting the house? What exactly is that supposed to mean? All you need to know is that there's no place for you in this house any longer. You've never contributed one single thing to this family. All you are is a barren piece of dead weight. You being around is only going to make life more painful for me, Dan, and Mandy. And since you don't do anything but hang around the house all day, that means that as long as you live here, I'll have to deal with you every day. Is there some problem with me being in my own house? It's my house. I don't have any more time to waste chatting with you. Nothing I say gets through your thick skull. My daughter is moving in with us, and I want you out. Pack your things and be gone by tomorrow morning. Are you sure you'll be fine without me around? Fine. I'll be better than ever. I see. It seems that you genuinely think that you're protecting this house. You know what? I'll do you one better. I won't make you wait until tomorrow. I'm leaving today. I'll just have to hire a mover to come and get my things another day. Well, I'm glad to see you finally come to your senses. Hurry up and get out of my sight, you useless failure of a woman. God, it's going to be great to have you out of my life, you crotchety old hag. What did you just say to me? I'm leaving now. Goodbye and good riddance. Elise, are you there? You owe me an explanation. I received a letter in the mail today that this month's rent was past due. I asked Dan about it, and he just told me to talk to you. Hello there, Claire. I thought I'd be hearing from you around this time. I see you finally realized the truth. What truth are you talking about? The truth that I'm the one who's been paying the rent all this time. $5,000 a month, due on the first of the month, which was a few days ago. I've been paying it up until now. You mean to tell me you didn't know? What the? $5,000 a month in rent? You mean this bill is for just 1 month? I thought it was a year's worth of rent. You mean to tell me this place costs $5,000 a month? For a 3-bedroom house in this part of the city? Yeah, $5,000 is pretty reasonable. I guess you wouldn't be familiar with what rents are in the city since you've been living out in the suburbs all your life. If you would have just stayed out there, you might not be in the pickle you're in right now. You're joking, right? This isn't just 1 month's rent. This is several months. It has to be! Did you read the bill? It should say pretty clearly somewhere on there that, yes, this is for 1 month. I've been trying to tell you, Claire. The only reason you're living in this nice house is because I've been paying for it. But I don't think I've ever gotten so much as a simple thank you from you. Now that you have the bill in your own hands, have you changed your mind? Are you feeling a little bit grateful for how good I've been to you? Hold on, this doesn't make any sense. You say you've been paying the rent? That can't be true. Dan's the one who pays the rent, right? Dan? Don't make me laugh. Dan couldn't even afford to rent a studio apartment in this city on his salary alone. It's kind of hard to grow your career when you can't hold down a steady job for more than a few months before getting fired or quitting. Wait, is that true about Dan? Uh-oh, I guess he never told you, huh? I'm not surprised. That's not the sort of thing he'd want to tell his precious mother. And that reminds me, you've been blaming me for our inability to have children all this time. But I got checked out, and I'm perfectly healthy. What? You mean you weren't infertile? I mean, I had my doctor do a full array of tests, and they didn't find any issue that would keep me from getting pregnant. Now, fertility is complicated, so it's not really something where you can say it's one person's fault. But what I can say for sure is that during the last year that you've lived with us, we haven't had any private time at all, if you know what I'm saying. But despite that, you've just been throwing all the blame on me, coming up with ever more creative ways to insult me. Do you have any idea how stressful it's been to have to deal with you every day? I suppose I never asked about the more intimate details of your marriage, but that's not important now. Oh, you think so? That's strange. That behavior of yours is one of the primary reasons that led to our divorce. The fact that we were never intimate, we barely even talked. Dan's terrible attitude toward me, the way he always took your side against me and never came home. And the way that you behaved around me, alternating between complete indifference and raw seeming hatred. You were basically equally as responsible as Dan was for our divorce, Claire. I knew that you had gotten divorced, but I never knew anything about this ridiculous rent. And I also had no idea that Dan was going through so much turmoil in his career. But now I know everything. Thank you so much for telling me, Elise. So, when are you coming back to the house? Excuse me? I can see now that you moved out because you wanted me to understand how much you contributed to the family. And you've been successful. I know all I need to know now. And as for you paying the rent, I'm deeply grateful for you providing me with such a wonderful house to live in, so you're free to move back in whenever you'd like. Though preferably, I'd like you here as soon as possible. I don't think the landlord will wait much longer. I am never moving back in with you, you psychotic old bat. What? You can't talk to me like that! I just did, didn't I? You should be grateful I'm keeping my insults PG rated. Seriously, Claire, I always knew you weren't the brightest bulb in the box, but how could you be that stupid? It's time for a reality check, Claire. Dan and I are divorced. I'm never taking that loser mama's boy back. I transferred the lease over to Dan's name. It's his responsibility to pay the rent now, so I don't know what you want me to do about this. It's all your problem. I've already moved into my own place, and I will never speak to either of you again. What? You moved? Where are you living now? I thought you were staying in a hotel or something until I allowed you to move back in. No way. You actually thought I would want to come back? You must be going senile. And as for where I'm living now, you know that high-rise condo building you can see from our kitchen window? Yes, I know that building. It's supposedly one of the most exclusive condo units in the city. And I bought one of those units for myself just the other day. I'm all moved in, and I am absolutely loving my new place. So yeah, I wouldn't come back to live with you two losers if you paid me. You bought one of their units? But that's insane! No, I don't believe you. That's ridiculous. There's no way you could afford that. What would I have to gain from lying to you right now? And I've always been planning to move into this condo ever since I started considering divorcing Dan. What in the world do you do for a living anyway? I thought you were just some sort of typical pencil pusher. Pencil pusher? Please, Claire. This is the 21st century. No one uses pencils anymore. It's all done by computer, like the business that I run. What? You run a business? That's right. A couple of years ago, I started up an online business that really took off. I now have physical locations in multiple cities. What do you mean, physical locations? And how can you run a business only using the internet? It's a far more complicated conversation than you're capable of, I'm afraid. But it's not any of your concern, so don't bother thinking about it too much. What's important is that you're aware that I was the one paying for our $5,000 a month rent, as well as all our other living expenses. If you understand that much, then I'm done here. You mean to tell me that Dan never made enough money to support the family? That you were the one keeping us afloat this entire time? That's right. Dan was never much of an earner, even back when we first got married, but lately, he's gotten even worse. I've caught him trying to take my ATM card without my permission a couple times in the last few months. So, I've been thinking that it was about time for me to make an exit. You just gave me the perfect opportunity. What perfect opportunity? What are you saying? I don't understand. Are you talking about Mandy getting pregnant? No, not exactly. But I guess you suddenly declaring that Mandy was going to move in with us did give me the motivation I needed to have Dan checked into. And once I started, it didn't take long to get all the evidence I needed of his indiscretions. So, I guess when I think about it, it's all thanks to you that I was finally able to break free. Thanks a million, Claire.
What on earth is going on? What are you going to do about this rent payment, Elise? I sure can't afford to pay $5,000 a month. And what about Mandy? She's all settled into her new room. She was planning on spending the next 6 months with us. But thanks to you, that plan is now completely ruined.
How is that all thanks to me? Don't forget, you were the spark that started this fire. And as for Mandy, she can always go back to her husband's house. But given the circumstances, I suppose it's more like that she'll go to live with her dad instead. I know he would never let you into his house, but for his own pregnant daughter, I'm sure he'll throw out the red carpet.
What? What are you saying, Claire? Her dad? Are you talking about my husband?
Your husband? You mean your ex-husband, right? At least that's what he's going to become soon anyway. And considering what you did to him, I really can't say I blame him.
You don't know anything about what happened between me and my husband.
Oh, but I do actually. Your husband came to me asking for advice a while ago.
He did? But what did he say to you? What advice did you give him?
We talked about a bunch of stuff, like asset management. He also asked me about legal separation and divorce. It seems you treated his savings account like your own personal piggy bank. You completely cleaned him out. The financial turmoil from that caused him problems at work. He was on his way to joining the board of directors, but thanks to the performance decline you caused him, that all went the way of the dodo. Marrying you was the absolute worst decision he ever made. You single-handedly ruined his life, Claire. So, what's your angle, Claire? What are you doing here anyway? Now that you destroyed your husband's life, you're moving on to destroying your kids' lives? You used the fact that Dan and Mandy don't know about your marital issues yet to invade our home, turn my husband against me, and eventually rip my own house away from me. Do you have any remorse at all for what you've done?
Elise, I'm begging you, please don't tell Dan about any of this. And the same goes for Mandy, too. Don't tell a soul.
Actually, I received a text from Mandy a while back.
You did? But why would she be texting you? What did she say?
She was afraid that either she or you were the reason that Dan and I got divorced. She was never intending to move in with us, but you were so insistent that she come stay with you that she did so without talking to me first. She felt so bad about everything and wanted to tell me how sorry she was. It looks like Mandy must have taken after your ex-husband. That's the silver lining, I suppose. At least one of your kids turned out normal.
Mandy said that to you? She never said anything about that to me.
Really? Because she sent me that message right after I moved out. She also told me that she's planning on moving back out, like I said.
She is?
Uh-oh, Claire. It looks like your plan has gone up in smoke.
What plan? I don't have any plan.
Oh, please. It's obvious what you were trying to do. Step 1, you move into my house. Step 2, have Mandy move in with us. Step 3, kick me out. Step 4, invite Mandy's husband to live with you too. Then, step 5, kick Dan out, have the house to yourself, and force Mandy and her husband to become your full-time caretakers.
Elise, I swear, if you tell Mandy one word about this, I will never forgive you.
First of all, I don't care if you never forgive me. Second, I haven't told Mandy a thing. She figured that all out by herself. Remember, she's your normal child.
You little brat! You've ruined everything! You destroyed my family! It's all your fault!
Really? You're still blaming me? You broke up your own marriage, then mine. If you want to find who's to blame for this, look in the mirror.
Enough of the blame game! The biggest problem now is I'll have no place to live soon. You need to take responsibility for your part in this by paying this month's rent at least.
And why would I do that? I divorced your son. You and I are nothing anymore.
Then what am I supposed to do?
Don't know, don't care. You're reaping what you've sown right now, Claire. This is goodbye. For your sake, I hope you can learn from your mistakes and fix them before it's too late. If it's not too late already, that is.
Elise, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. I lost my house. My mom, sister, and dad are all mad at me. I don't know what I should do now. I have nowhere else to go. Hey, you just moved into that condo, right? How about I come and live with you?
Sorry, no can do. It's a 1-bedroom unit.
Why didn't you buy a bigger unit? Where am I supposed to live?
Why do I have to incorporate my ex-husband into my living situation? You signed your name on the divorce papers, Dan. You knew what that meant. Coming crawling to me for help now is just plain pathetic.
Go ahead, Elise. Make fun of me all you want. I can take it. I love you.
I don't even know what to say to that, Dan, other than yuck. Lol, get real.
It's true! It took losing you to realize it, and I'm sorry for that. Once I looked at the situation objectively, it became clear to me how terrible my mom was to you.
And what brought about this epiphany?
She was trying to make me pay the rent for her. Like, how am I supposed to pay $5,000 in rent? I don't even make $10,000 a year.
Yeah, which makes it even more appalling that you never once thanked me for all I did for you. But really, why are you texting me like this now? Let me guess, your mistress cut you off, am I right?
What? How did you know about her?
Because I'm not a moron. It was obvious something was going on. And now that she's dumped you, you come crawling back to me. God, you're such a loser.
Don't be so mean to me! You, my sister, my mom, my girlfriend, everyone's being so mean to me lately!
It's not mean, it's just the truth. You used my money to cheat on me. All the while, you were never even once gainfully employed, but still told your family that you were the one paying the bills. But now that I divorced you, you have no money left to buy gifts for your mistress, so she dumped you. And at the end of all that, you come back to the woman you cheated on and mistreated for a handout? That is the textbook definition of a loser.
I know I screwed up, but I've learned my lesson. I'll never do any of that stuff again, I promise. Okay, so I'll be over there soon. We're gonna make this work, Elise. I know it!
What do you mean you'll be here soon?
Good afternoon, Elise. Thank you so much for agreeing not to press charges against Dan. If he got a criminal record, I don't think he'd ever recover from it. He's a changed man now, I assure you.
For his sake, I hope that's true.
I understand that you're furious with us, and you have every right to be. But I promise, both Dan and I have done plenty of introspection since we last spoke. Oh, I thought you should know, Mandy gave birth to a healthy boy a month ago. Her husband is still angry at me, of course, but I'm going to her house every day to help her out while she recovers.
Yeah, Mandy sent me some pictures. That baby is such a little angel. As for Dan trying to force his way inside my building, I see that as being somewhat my responsibility. I never should have told him where I lived.
No, it's not your fault. It's mine. I'm the one who told him, and I'm terribly sorry for that too. But thanks to you, I was able to open up to my husband. I was honest about how much I missed him, and the way I fell into gambling as a way to fill the void, and he was angry at me, like you would expect, but he thanked me for my honesty. We're not quite back to normal, but I think if we take things one step at a time, we might just get there eventually.
I'm glad to hear that, Claire. Your marriage isn't really my concern anymore, so it's not my place to give my opinion, but you already hurt your husband once. Don't do it again.
I hope that you can find the happiness that you deserve, Elise.
Wow, I never expected to hear that from you, but I wish you all the best too. Goodbye, Claire. I still talk to Mandy from time to time, and she gives me updates on how the family is doing. I'm actually kind of glad I didn't have to press charges against Dan, as terrible as he was to me. He still was the man I once pledged my unending love to. Mandy tells me that the whole incident really scared him straight. He's managed to hold down his current job for almost a year now, and his superiors say he shows a good deal of promise. Claire is doing her best to earn back the trust of her husband. They haven't moved back in together yet, but Claire is working a part-time job to pay her own bills while also going over to help Mandy with her baby. And as for me, I'm just glad that I don't have to deal with Dan or Claire anymore. I'm absolutely loving being single again.